Okay guys, so tonight on your homework, you're writing the function rule. When you're thinking function rule, that's the equation. And the equation that we're going for is always in the slope-intercept form. So we're talking about the y equals mx plus b. And remember that m, that's talking about slope. B, that's talking about the y-intercept. Now, today we're working from a table to be able to figure out what the equation should be. So let's go through and look at number 1. So number 1, we want to find out the m, which means change in y over change in x. So to go from 12 to 16, that means plus 4. 16 to 20, that's plus 4. 20 to 32, all of a sudden that's plus 12. 32 to 44, that's also plus 12. Okay, so those are our changes in y. Then we look at change in x. 3 to 4, that's plus 1. 4 to 5, plus 1. 5 to 8, plus 3. 8 to 11, plus 3. So change in y, okay, we have 4 over 1. We also have 12 over 3. Now, if I simplify and I go 4 divided by 1, that equals 4. 12 divided by 3 also equals 4. So those are equivalent, and so our m is 4. So now when we think about our equation, we're doing the form y equals mx plus b. So y equals, our m is 4. So 4x, and then we've got to figure out, is there a b? Is there something that we need to add on to be that b? So we're going to test it out. We're going to plug it in, okay? If we take this 3 and we put it in for x, so instead of 4 times x, we have 4 times 3. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. That's right there. That's what we want. So what do we have to add on? Nothing. We don't have to add on anything. So really, when we think about our equation, y equals 4x is it. Okay? We could write it out for x plus 0, but there's no reason to. So our rule is y equals 4x. Now, looking at number 2, looking to see what our change in y is. To get from 16 to 32 is plus 16. 32 to 48, plus 16. Okay. Plus 16. 64 to 80, plus 16. Change in x, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So m equals change in y over change in x. So that means 16 over 2, which simplifies to be 8. So y equals, now we have 8x, and then we've got to figure out, is there something out here for b? Do we have to have something here? Okay, so we've got to figure out what the b equals. So to be able to do that, we're going to substitute. So let's take our 2 and plug it in. Okay, well, if I say 8 times 2, well, that equals 16. I don't need to add on anything. So our b is going to be 0, and that leaves us just with y equals 8x. Let's look at number 3. Okay, number 3, change in y, plus 5. Plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. Change in x is plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, and plus 1. So when we're thinking about our m, change in y over change in x, we have 5 over 1, which equals 5. So our slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Well, now we know that for our m, we need to put in 5. So 5x plus b. So let's test it out and see if we can figure out what b should be. So I'm going to take some numbers and plug them in. I'm going to take this 1 and I'm going to plug it in. 5 times 1, okay, plus something, okay, 5 times 1 is 5. Well, how in the world do I get from that 5 to equal 7? Well, to be able to do that, I have to add 2. So that means that this b is going to be, instead of just putting a b there, it means plus 2. Okay? I'm going to check it with another one. So let's say 3. Well, just 5 times 3 plus 2, does that equal 17? 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2. Yes, it equals 17. So our equation, our rule, is y equals 5x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to get you started on number 4. Number 4, change in y to go from -4 to -2 means plus 2. -2 to 0 is plus 2. 0 to 2 is plus 2. 2 to 4 is plus 2. Change in x, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So that means for our slope, m equals 2 over 1, which equals 2. So right now you've got your m. And so starting out with that equation, y equals mx plus b. You know this 2 is going to go right here for m. Okay? So instead of that m, you need 2. Now you're going to have to figure out about the b. Okay? So pick a number, plug it in, and find out what if you need a b or not. Okay, so on the flip side, let's look at our first one. Change in y, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. Change in x, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So for m, change in y is 5, change in x is 1, which equals 5. Okay, so now thinking about our equation, y equals mx. Well, I know m is 5. Then do we need a b? Okay, so not sure yet. Let's test it. If I take that 1 and I put it in and we have 5 times 1, well, 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, trying another one. 5 times 2 is 10. So b is really 0, so we don't need it. So y equals 5x is the function rule. That is the equation. Okay, let's look at our second one. Change in y, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Change in x, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So m equals 1 over 1, which is 1. Now you're going to take your formula, y equals mx plus b. M is 1, x plus, and you've got to figure out, do you need the b? Okay, so you're going to figure that out, and then you're going to write your equation. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you do need a b, so you're going to need to figure it out. Okay, so y equals 1x plus, and then whatever your b is. Okay? And actually, I'll even tell you that to get there, instead of adding, you're actually going to be subtracting. Okay? Moving on. Changing y, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. And then plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So m equals 2 over 1, which equals 2. So thinking about our equation, y equals mx. M is 2, x, and then do we need a b? So let's substitute and figure it out. I'm going to take this 1 and I'm going to substitute. 2 times 1, okay? Well, 2 times 1 is 2, so how in the world do I get from 2 to 3? Well, to do that, I have to plus 1. Well, let's try a different one. To see if that still holds true. If I go 2 times 2, okay, plus 1, oh, I get 5. So I did 2 and I got 5. That's exactly what I needed. So that is our correct rule. Y equals 2x plus 1. Okay, moving across. Changing y, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Changing x, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Okay? With that, you'll be able to figure out your slope and then finish up your equation. Okay? Moving on down. 2, to get from 2 to 6, it's plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. To get from 2 to 1 is plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Okay, so m equals 4 over 1, which equals 4. Taking our equation, y equals mx plus b. Well, for our m, we already know that. We know that our m is 4. So we have 4x plus b. Okay? We've got to figure out, do we need a b? So I'm going to substitute. I'm going to put that 1 in. So if I have 4 times 1, what do I need to do to it to be able to get to a 2? Well, 4 times 1 is 4. Well, to get from 4 to 2, instead of, I'm going to actually have to do a minus 2. Okay? So our rule is y equals 4x minus 2. And if I check it out for another one, and I put in, okay, let's try 2. Well, 4 times 2 is 8, minus 2 gives me 6. So that means it is correct. Okay? And then I want you to go ahead and look at your last one and do the last one. The 2 tables on the bottom are actually a duplicate of the ones above it, so don't worry about those. Finish it up and we'll see you in class.